Alright, so the movie starts off with this girl, right? The girl from the last movie, Uma, that what's my name girl, right? But she's like, oh my gosh, and she becomes a principal, right? She becomes a principal because fairy godmother, whatever. She's leaving, she's going to a university. She's like, oh, we gotta invite the Queen of Hearts. She's like, no, they're too hostile. But that's what Carlos would have wanted. And Ben and Mel, they both on vacation or something, right? So they're not in this movie. They invite her. They do a fire song. I'm not even gonna lie to you. The soundtrack of this movie is up to par. But even then, she's like, oh my gosh. And the man's like, oh, I know you're a vigilante. And here's a time machine. I didn't want to show you this until you were older. You can lose your mom. Oh, I can handle that. And she's like, oh my gosh. Oh, it can change everything. Oh, I can handle that. You can lose your mom for me. And then they skip, right? Uma does it. What's my name? Uma, say it louder. Right? You see Cinderella's daughter, whatever. And they're like, what you doing? Cinderella was like, it was just a naughty prank. You don't gotta be so mean. She was like, Dr. Red, what do you need to do? She was like, mother, what do you need to do? Because early in the movie, she had said the same thing about some other dude. And she was like, oh, we should take off his hat. And she was like, what do you do now? You saw the future. You know what you gotta do. And she was like, you're banished for treason. Take off. And she was like, yes, daughter. You're finally what I want. You're finally what I want. You're what I wanted this whole entire time. And then Cinderella gets banished, and she's like, and her daughter's like, and it takes try to take the thing. They both go back in time. Like, oh my gosh, what is this? But bippity boppity boo. Oh my gosh, where are we? And the dude was like, oh my gosh, where is the paper? You're supposed to be a transfer student. And then they meet their parents. They're not what they expected. Queen of Hearts is nice. Cinderella doesn't like royalty, whatever. He's like, and the cupcakes give you side effects. Ursula's little baby sister comes in, gets one of the cupcakes, gets multiple. It's like, thank you. Her hair turns red, right? Her hair turns red, and she's like pink. She's like, I'm gonna make you a monster. And they go back to her lair. She go back to her lair. It's like, we should make her a cupcake too, make her a monster. And yeah, that's what happened. And then nearing the end of the movie, right? She's like, they're like, oh my gosh, we need to get the book. And Red saw the future, right? She was like, it's because she knows she's supposed to be right beside her mom, or whatever, to be bad people. And she's like, Mom, she's like, your mom wouldn't be this way if this was something. And she was like, so you are a bad person. She was like, so she wanted to go get the book by herself, because that's what it was. Cinderella's daughter wanted to tell the teacher, and Red wanted to get the book. And she was like, all the asking and stuff, you were in the right, just like your mom. Boom. Yep. And she saying, right, the bad book has enchanted stuff on it, right? So no bad people can get it. And they sneak in, send Cinderella's daughter, and Cinderella do a song like, you gotta jump right in. And that's when Cinderella's daughter realizes that she needs to go steal the book too. And when they go in, they try to get the book. The owls and stuff start flying around, do 360s, stabbing, all that stuff, doing front flips, back flips, everything, kicking, everything. And the big knight come out of nowhere, does a 360 spin kick, right? Does a splits and broke. Like try to do a trick and broke. That is insane. And Ursula's little sister, walks in and is like, I knew it. Thank you for the book. And they were like, you're not getting this book. And she uses her tentacles and gets the book, opens the book. She freezes because the enchanted stuff on it. Now that really makes me wonder, how in the past, how they get the book open? I'm confused. And Red's like, did they use that one girl? They used the Queen of Hearts when she was a kid to open the book and make her, and she made the cupcake and she ate it. Maybe so. I don't know. I don't even think they go over that in this movie. But whatever. They're like, oh my gosh, and Red gets the book. Cinderella's daughter like, you should open it. She's like, no. And she gets the flashback of being right beside her mom, being a villain. She's like, I'm a bad person. And Cinderella's daughter was like, you're not. And she opens the book. She's actually a good person because it didn't freeze them too. They're like, oh my gosh. They go back in time. They go back to the present, and everything's good. And Queen of Hearts throws her favorite cards up, and they become bubbles. So she's actually a good person now. Uma does a voiceover. Oh yeah, and Cinderella's good now too. Uma does a voiceover, and she's like, messing with the fabric of time has consequences. That's the end of the movie. Soundtrack was fire. That's all I gotta say. Soundtrack was fire. Through the shadows like I'm ultraviolet. Yeah. I don't need your help 'cause the watch is mine. If you hear me out, then you'll change your mind. I don't want my life ruled by some queen. Look into my eyes, see the fire in me. Burning for me. That's just the name people know me by. Crown Prince isn't the way I ride. If you wanna roll together, you could be a vibe.